The death of a pope is one of the most precisely choreographed events in the world. From the exact moment a pope draws his last breath inside the Apostolic Palace, a massive sequence of ancient rituals and legal mechanisms activate. Some of these procedures have been refined over 2,000 years, and they are genuinely unlike anything that happens anywhere else when a world leader dies. Today, we are moving far through 15 weird, shocking, and highly secretive facts about what happens when a pope dies. Let's begin. The silver hammer ritual. When a pope dies, the death cannot just be announced to the press. It must be formally confirmed by an official known as the Cardinal Camerlengo. Historically, this bizarre ritual involved the Camerlengo calling the pope's baptismal name 3 times while tapping his forehead with a small silver hammer. If there was no response, the death was declared. Today, the hammer tap is skipped in favor of a medical declaration, but the canonical ritual of confirmation remains absolutely mandatory. Until the Camerlengo officially declares it, institutionally speaking, the Pope is not dead. Fact 2. The destruction of the ring. Within mere hours of the death, the Pope's most famous piece of jewelry is violently destroyed. The Fisherman's ring, a custom-made gold signet ring used to seal official documents, is formally defaced or broken by the Camerlengo in front of witnesses. The Pope's lead seal is also destroyed. This isn't just symbolic, it's a high-security measure to prevent anyone from forging fraudulent papal documents during the vulnerable transition period. Fact 3. Sealing the crime scene. After the ring is destroyed, the Pope's private apartments inside the Apostolic Palace are immediately locked and formally sealed. Access is heavily restricted. The books on his desk, the papers in his drawers, and his personal objects are locked inside, completely untouched. The rooms remain in this state institutional suspension until the newly elected Pope decides whether to break the seal and occupy. Fact 4. The mass fire. One of the most extreme consequences of a papal death is the immediate collapse of the Vatican government. The moment the death is confirmed, almost all senior Vatican officials, including the powerful Secretary of State and the heads of the Roman Curia, automatically lose their jobs. Their power completely evaporates because their appointments expire with the Pope. Only 3 essential officials retain their positions to keep the church breathing. Everyone else becomes a temporary caretaker. Fact 5. The forced wardrobe. In death, personal preference no longer matters. The Pope's body is washed and dressed in the full formal vestments of his office: a white cassock, red mossetta, red stole, and a white mitre. Even if a pope famously avoided elaborate ceremonial dress during his lifetime, like Pope Francis, who declined red shoes and fancy garments, protocol reasserts itself. The body is dressed strictly according to the ancient tradition of the office, proving the papacy is larger than the man. Fact 6. The triple coffin. A pope is not buried in one coffin, but 3 nested together. The innermost coffin is made of cypress wood, containing a bag of coins minted during his reign and a sealed metal tube holding a summary of his achievements. This is placed inside a second coffin made of pure lead, which is soldered shut to create an airtight seal to slow down decomposition. Finally, the lead coffin is placed inside a third outer coffin of elm walnut for the public funeral. Fact 7. The million-person line. Before the funeral, the body is moved in a solemn procession to St. Peter's Basilica for a public viewing. The scale of this event is staggering. When Pope John Paul II lay in state in 2005, an estimated 4 million people traveled to Rome. Queues stretched for kilometers across the city, with mourners waiting up to 24 hours in line just to catch a glimpse of the body. It remains one of the largest single gatherings of human beings in recorded history. Fact 8. The scripted funeral. A papal funeral is never improvised. Every single breath, prayer, vestment color, and movement is dictated by a strict document called the Ordo Exequiarum Romani Pontificis. Celebrated outdoors in St. Peter's Square to fit massive crowds, it is also a massive diplomatic event. The 2005 funeral drew around 200 heads of state and government, making it the largest gathering of world leaders in history up to that point. Fact 9. Temporary money and stamp. The period between the death and the new election is called the sede vacante, or the vacant seat. During this time, Vatican City literally prints its own special coins and postage stamps. These feature the cross keys of St. Peter, but the papal tiara is entirely missing, signaling that the throne is empty. These are fully functional stamp and currency, valid only for this short window, making them incredibly rare collector's items. Fact 10. The 15-day clock. By canon law, the conclave to elect a new pope must begin exactly between 15 and 20 days after the vacancy begins. This allows global cardinals time to travel to Rome, but this strict timeline was born from a historical disaster. In 1268, cardinals argued for 3 years without picking a pope, until frustrated locals literally locked them in a building, starved them, and removed the roof to expose them to the elements. The modern rules ensure that never happens again. Fact 11. The Sistine Chapel bunker. For the election, the Sistine Chapel is transformed from a tourist museum into a highly secure, sealed bunker. A temporary wooden floor is installed, along with tables and a wood-burning stove. Most important, the Vatican's security forces seal the area and activate heavy electronic jamming equipment to prevent any cell phones or communication with the outside world. The cardinals are completely cut off from human history until a decision is made. Fact 12. Fraud-proof voting. To ensure the election is totally unimpeachable, cardinals must vote using a deliberately disguised handwriting so their ballots can't be identified. The ballots are folded twice and dropped into a chalice. After being counted aloud, the ballots are threaded together on a needle and string. They are then burned in the stove using special chemical compounds to produce the famous smoke signal. Fact 13. Instant ultimate power. When a cardinal finally receives a 2/3 majority vote, he does not have to wait for a coronation ceremony. The dean of the college asks him 2 questions. Do you accept? And by what name do you wish to be called? The very millisecond he answers yes, he becomes the supreme pontiff. The fullness of the papal office is his instant, right there inside the locked Sistine Chapel. Fact 14. Smoke and bell. The world finds out through the chimney. Black smoke means no decision. White smoke means a new pope. However, because the smoke's color was historically confusing, the Vatican added a new rule in 2005. The massive bells of St. Peter's Basilica must ring simultaneously with the white smoke to confirm the election. The crowd then waits in agonizing suspense for 30 to 60 minutes before the new pope is finally revealed on the ballot. Fact 15. The wardrobe ruler. Because no one knows who will win the election, the Vatican has to be prepared for any body type. Inside the sacristy, known as the Room of Tears, 3 different sizes of white papal cassocks, small, medium, and large, are always waiting. After dressing, the new pope steps out to the world. While the process is strictly prescribed, his first acts are deeply personal. For example, Pope Francis broke protocol by asking the crowd to pray for him first, and later that night went back to his hotel to carry his own luggage and pay his own bill. The Catholic Church has been executing this transition for 2,000 years, refining every detail through crisis and experience. Which of these 15 weird facts surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe to see more content exactly like this.